Some April predictions. The felon in April. Let's look into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First off, a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. We just crossed 10,000 subscribers, which is amazing considering the channel is not even 4 months old. I will make a community post about that with some insights and ask you for some suggestions on what you would like to see as we move forward. I do have a second channel, and I wanted to mention that because I think somebody on this channel asked me to do a reading on Sudiksha Kaneki, who is a University of Pittsburgh student who disappeared in the Dominican Republic. That reading is on the second channel, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. Okay, so huge thank you, 10,000 subscribers, big deal. We're going to look at the white Lumen Tarot deck today. That's one that you guys bought with donations. So everybody that has given money to the channel, huge thank you. I just tried to put it back into the channel with new equipment and stuff like that and new tarot decks. So some April predictions. Some of these are more pleasant than others. Okay. So, but I think it's important that we're aware. We're going to continue as I said in the 2025 predictions, there are going to be a lot of tornadoes this year in the United States and in spots that we don't necessarily expect and in time periods we don't necessarily expect. Now, a lot of that has come to pass. We are starting to move into what we would normally call tornado season. So just be on the lookout when severe weather's around, it's a tarot reading and psychic advice. So take it for what you will. Having one of those hand cranked radios, they're fairly inexpensive, like $9, $10. Um, that just reports on the weather, and you can pick up some AM stations. Uh, might be advisable. Um, I also think there's going to be some volcanic activity. I don't know if this is above ground or if this is in underneath in the ocean, but it's something along those lines, and it possibly could cause some diversion of some flights. Um, I'm not sure on the timing of that. It feels like it's this month. I also got an image while scrying of the Pope returning to the hospital. And again, I think that's the month of April, but it could be possibly this summer as well. It's kind of hard to tell. I could see tulips, which kind of reminded me of Easter. Um, so I'm thinking late April, possibly. Um, and then I think we're going to get some information coming out. And I don't know if this is going to be from another government or from the United States government or from one of the states in the United States about foreign election interference in the last election. It's just going to be a synopsis of what happened. It's not going to be anything that we don't already know. It's going to finally come and be more public. So I'm excited. Not for those horrible predictions. I'm excited about the 10,000 subscribers, reaching that on the solar eclipse. I'm not sure what that means astrologically, but today I'm recording this on the solar eclipse, the 29th and I believe that's when we crossed 10,000 subscribers. It happened while I was uh, resting, so I think that's correct. Okay, so let's take a look with the new tarot deck of the Felon in April. And like I said, look out for the community posts. I'll try not to overwhelm you with too many posts, but um, see the Felon in April. So when I was scrying there, I could feel there's a huge amount of tension between him and Melania and him and Ivanka. And I was trying to get to Jared Kushner, but I could not pick any energy up from him. So I don't know if that just means he's going to stay behind the scenes. Don Jr. felt super erratic as usual. Eric Trump has like he always has this like feeling of befuddlement. That's a weird emotion. If it's kind of like dismay, but it's not really dismay. It's kind of like confusion, but it's not really confusion. It's kind of like the combination of them both, befuddlement. Um, so then I do see the felon's health continuing to decline, but to what extent and in what time frame, these are super hard to predict. And things change, right? Somebody decides to not have a cheeseburger one night and maybe that changes things. But he's on the decline, and I think we can just see that. So let's just pull. We'll do a 9 card spread with this new deck. So this is the White Lumen Tarot. This was suggested by, uh, actually, I think 3 people suggested it independently of one another from the channel and on Blue Sky. So uh, I haven't, this is my first reading with it, but I have gone through the cards. If you're interested in reading tarot, probably the biggest thing you can do in the beginning is to go through the deck 1 card at a time and see how they feel. Because tarot cards should have a feel to them. Sometimes the Four of Cups feels this way, sometimes it feels a different way. Different decks give different vibes. So, what do we need to know about the felon? He's not happy. He's yelling at somebody. I can hear the yells. I don't know what he's saying, but I can hear them. Um, we might also get some news about Baron this month. Like he does something that's somewhat shocking. There's a smell to him. People have talked about this in the media too, and I've picked up on it on occasion. And the smell's getting worse. I don't know if sometimes cancer patients can have a smell, no fault of their own. It just kind of happens with the drugs. It's kind of like that. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, so we get the King of Swords, passion around leadership, about the way he wants things done because they're not getting done. I also kind of got the feeling that that whole signal gate thing might have been a way for them to communicate without him knowing about it. I wonder if there isn't back channels of communication that he's not privy to. Um, so I think that's the yelling, the King of Swords. Well, that's just the marker for the cards, the White Lumen deck. The Two of Swords, decisions to be made blindly. It's like he's proceeding for, he doesn't have a plan, right? I don't think he ever has. And that's why we get the tariffs on, the tariffs off. I do think this latest round of tariffs on the automobiles, if they stay in effect, is going to have a pretty devastating effect for people. I think people will hold on to their cars longer and not buy new cars. So, the used car market is going to collapse because of that, because people aren't trading their cars in anymore. So it kind of affects the whole chain. The only winner here is probably like the auto parts companies. Not that that's financial advice, but that would be my guess that if there's some upside to it for someone, it would be them. Although the tariffs probably affect their parts as well. It's going to be a tough to follow. Here's the felon in his own reading, the King of Pentacles. Just confirmation that we're on the right track. Yeah, we get walking away. I think this is the supporters of the felon. They start to leave and they start to leave in droves. And it's because of these things like automobile prices. It's the things that you don't really think about. But if you're a parent and you have a kid graduating high school or turning 16 and you live in a rural area and you need to get them a vehicle, it's gonna, you're going to realize that buying a used vehicle is more expensive. Buying a new vehicle is going to be more expensive. Getting financing for these things is going to be harder. Interest rates on car loans are going to go up. Um, Possibly there might be some 0% interest deals on new vehicles just to try to get people to buy them. But that'll be a sign that things are bad, not good. So, yeah. So we get the Three of Swords again. And it's at the center of the reading here. This is something wrong with his heart, right? Now, I know a lot of you have commented he doesn't have a heart, and it could be that as well, as in, he's just heartless and cruel and mean-spirited. But there's something medically wrong with his heart as well. It just, I feel like they know about it already. I don't know if he's like towards the later stages of congestive heart failure. I mean, people can live with congestive heart failure for years and years and years. Um, you take water pills and it takes the water away from that part, but it just feels like there's something really like they can't fix it. Like there's something wrong that they can't fix. I don't know, maybe there's a tumor in his heart, or there's a tumor near his heart that they can't operate because it's so close to his heart. Um, Something that can't be fixed. That I wish I had more details. I don't. We do get the sun card around, so things coming to light about his actions, which is good. And we get the Four of Cups. Uh, this is almost like the Four of Cups can be thought of as like, God handing you a fourth cup, right? And in some depictions, it's like the people don't want it. Here, it looks like the person wants it. So I think there might be some news coming forward that will be of a positive nature, not regards to him personally, but regards to something um, that happens. Now, this could be, Democrats gaining a seat in the Florida special elections. This could be, somebody leaving that has a horrible track of doing something. It might be a gift like that that affects his ability to govern judgment. This has already started. The judgment of him will be an ongoing process. People need to, um, how to say, so if you know somebody who's a felon supporter, it's probably better for us as a community supporting the resistance to give that person space to come up with their own judgment of him and what horrible things he's doing rather than you telling them. Like if you tell a MAGA person that auto prices went up because of his tariffs, they might not believe it. Versus if they just notice auto prices went up, they'll probably pin it on him. I hope that makes sense. People need their space. It's like, if it's kind of like a cult, right? Leaving a cult, even a year after you people have left the cult, they still have that kind of pull back towards that. Um, and that's what it feels like the MAGA people are going through. And here's the card for Elon Musk, which is interesting. So the magician. So the King of Swords, Three of Swords, the magician. Um, so logical compassion, leadership is not possible with him. So, it's like he's very angry, and I don't think he really knows why. I think part of that's, a little bit of mental cognitive collapse. People tend to get angry, uh, which is why it's so hard to care for those people if they're your parents. You have to remember who they are because they get angry. I'm not suggesting that excuses him at all, but so something along the lines of him being really angry, leading to further worsening of this heart condition. And then I think this puts Elon Musk to the side. I think we need to be a little bit cautious when he's to the side while the felon's still there. Um, the universe gives us a gift, probably related to his heart condition, which directly affects him, the felon, the King of Pentacles. So I think the gift is his declining health. I know that sounds a little bit morbid, but we've talked about that in the comments and other places, and I think everybody kind of agrees that maybe that's what's best. And then around, we get illuminations of facts that we don't know yet, which leads to further judgment of the felon. And it leads to having to make decisions. And for some people, it's going to feel like it's a blind decision, especially MAGA supporters. But ultimately, the energy is going to be walking away from this MAGA energy with the Eight of Cups, just walking away from it. So I don't think the felon's April looks very good for him. We have the Queen of Cups. This feels very much like the Democrats. We get another minor arcana death card, the Five of Swords, complete wounded in battle. Uh, and we keep getting this too, intergenerational relationship, Six of Cups. People thinking about the next generation and what that means, what we're doing, and how that's affecting the next generation. Notice the slight crescent of the moon in this card. The moon will be new because of the solar eclipse, so there will be no moon tonight, but starting, Sunday into Monday, it'll look like a little crescent. And then we get the voters, the Four of Wands. What are the voters sick of? The voters are sick of the Seven of Swords, which is deceit, deception. And here it almost looks like, the person who's caused the deceit and the deception has been caught and something violent's about to happen to him in this deck. And perhaps that's pretty analogous to what's going to happen in April. A lot of people have predicted some violence. I have seen that there might be some political violence. I've read on that. I didn't include that in the April predictions because I don't have anything real specific. It just feels like that's what's going to happen. Um, and people want the truth. They want the Ace of Swords. They want to, they want to return to sanity, return to consistency, even. They don't want to wake up every day and wonder what awful things have gone on in the night. They don't want to be sitting at their work desks, look at the stock market and it's up, and then all of a sudden they look 10 minutes later and it's way down because he said something. People are tired of that energy. And I think we're going to start to see that dissipate. So, anyhow, 10,000 subscribers. Huge, huge thank you. Thank you for watching this video. I will link the video to the reading on Sudiksha Kanaki if you want to take a look at that. Again, thank you.